one of the great moments in the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum where they actually competed for leadership was before the conquest of Khaybar. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, tomorrow I'm going to give the banner to someone who loves Allah and His Messenger, and who Allah and His Messenger loves him. Right?
That's huge.
Yeah. And so this was the reason why they wanted that. Umar said, I never wanted Imara before that day. Why? Just because of this concept. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, I'm telling you that whoever I'm giving it to tomorrow, that person loves Allah and His Messenger, and Allah and His Messenger love them.
Subhanallah.
And he gave it to Ali ibn Abi Talib. And so this was that declaration of love of Allah and love of His Messenger.
بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله مصليا على محمد وآله ومن تله. Your brother Najib here, Deen Love, with another episode of Good Deeds here, because we have Ustadhina, Shaykhana in town. We had to benefit from his knowledge, expertise, and everything he's been through in life. Ammar Alskukry.
I haven't been through anything.
He's been through everything.
I haven't been through anything.
Today's good deed, which proves my point, which
Monkey
Suit's been
business.
through. Monkey business. Today's good deed, very huge, very sensitive. Maybe the core to the mu'min's life, which is loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? The success of dunya and akhirah, this is the condition. Loving Allah and having that strong bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ustadh Ammar Alskukry.
Loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Absolutely, it's the crux of our act of worship. The scholars, they always they compared it to a bird, and they said, you know, these emotions, fear, love, and hope, they compared it to a bird, and they said the wings are fear and hope.
Yeah.
Fearing Allah's punishment and hoping for His reward. But the heart of the bird is love. And so love is that constant that a person has. And when you love, you naturally love for a number of reasons. You may love, for example, because of physical beauty. We naturally love physical beauty. We love beautiful places. You know, we love beautiful things. We love beautiful architecture. We love beautiful people. We love beautiful. We're designed to love beauty. So that's number one. We love beautiful. We love physical beauty. Number two, we love because of beautiful characteristics that we love. So maybe your friend isn't really physically very beautiful, but is very honest, very trustworthy.
And you love that about them.
You love that about them. You know, my car isn't beautiful, but she gets me great gas mileage. She never breaks down. She's dependable. So you love her because of that. Your car, I mean. You love, you love beautiful qualities. So that's number two. The third is you love because of beautiful or loving the facilitation of what you love. What I mean by that is a person, for example, who loves laughing. A person who loves laughter. I wanted to say laughter and laughing at the same time, so it became laughing. But if a person loves laughing, then they'll love a comedian. Right? They love their friend that always makes them laugh. If a person loves, for example, adventure, they love that person who's always ready to go skydiving with them or whatever. So if you love money, you love your person who's always giving you money. That's you love what's. And so if you were to look at any of these things, you would come to the conclusion that Allah is the one who you love the most, or should love the most. Allah, as far as physical beauty, He's Al-Jameel. He Himself is Al-Jameel. He's the creator of beauty, and He is the one whose name is the beautiful. And hence we were told that in paradise, with all of the experiences that exist in paradise, that the greatest experience, the most pleasurable experience is what? Seeing the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you love because of beautiful characteristics, then a person who learns about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only going to increase in love for Allah. They will love Him because He is Al-Kareem. They will love Allah because He's a Shafi, the healer. They will love Allah, Kareem meaning the generous. They will love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because He's the beautiful. They'll love Allah because He's the merciful. He's Ar-Rahman. They'll love Allah because He's the forgiving. The loving. He Himself is Al-Wadud. So there's so many, His attributes all cause you to love Him.
Yeah.
And if you love because of facilitation, well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who facilitated for you and I every blessing that we ever experienced.
It's true.
There's no blessing that you didn't. And so, there are some people who the more you learn about them, the less you love them. There are lots of times when you'll have like a famous figure and then you read their biography and you're like, man, this guy's actually a horrible person. Or you read, and then there's some sort of expose about them or what have you, what you didn't really, what you thought you knew, you had no idea. All of this. So there are so many people who are like that. But there are some people who, the more you learn about them, the more that you actually love them.
Of course.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above and beyond all of that. And the more that you learn about Allah, the more you love Him. And the more that you love Him, why is that important? Because the more that you love Him, the more you will want to do whatever it takes to be loved by Him. Anytime that you love, just naturally, if you love someone, you want that love reciprocated.
Of course.
You want your parents to love you. Look at how much people do just to get that type of love from their parents. If you love someone of the opposite gender, you want that love reciprocated. You do so much just to get that love reciprocated. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in Surah Al-Imran, He says, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. Allah gives for every, and Ibn Kathir, he called this verse the verse of the test. Whoever says that they love Allah, then they would be willing to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And if they do that, Allah says, then I will love you. And so a person seeks the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by following the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and also a person seeks the love of Allah by doing the things that Allah obligated. Because that's what the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us in a hadith al-Qudsi. He says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ما تقرب إلي عبدي بشيء أحب إلي مما افترضته عليه. That my slave doesn't come closer to me with anything more beloved to me than the obligatory things. And then they'll continue to do the voluntary things until I love them.
So the wajibat are get you near to Allah.
And then the more they do the voluntary, the more they get access to the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have this concept of al-jazaa min jins al-amal, that rewards are in accordance with the deeds themselves. Something interesting about voluntary actions is that voluntary actions are normally motivated by love.
That's true.
Dhuhr, the reason why a person prayed dhuhr, it could be love, yes, but it also could be fear of punishment.
Yeah. It could be.
Because if you don't pray dhuhr, then you
miss salah. I mean, that's tough. Yeah.
And fasting Ramadan, same thing, and doing Hajj, same thing. But the person who's fasting extra days, they're not afraid of anything. When you're fasting extra days, you're not afraid of anything when you pray the 2 sunnahs of Fajr or the 4 before Dhuhr. You're not being motivated by fear, you're being motivated by love, because you want to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to be closer to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so that then causes for that person to, in return, be loved by Allah.
Huge. Subhanallah.
Yeah.
I usually read this ayah, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَشَدُّ حُبًّا لِلَّهِ.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
The believers are more severe in their love of Allah.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
So love is a huge characteristic of the mu'min's life.
Absolutely, and it motivates them forward. I mean, I want you to, love is an incredibly huge motivator.
Yeah.
I mean, people, when they love, they do so much and they don't think too great of it. The things that your parents do for you, they couldn't do for anybody else. And what allows them to do all of these things for you is love. The things that you do for the people that you love, it would be very hard for you to do for other people.
Yeah.
And it's because you love them. Because you love them, you don't mind.
Yeah.
And so the more a person loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more that they're actually willing to do more and more and more for Allah, and they won't mind. They'll spend their wealth, and they'll spend their health, and they'll spend their time, and they'll do all of that because they love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, I wish that I could meet ahbabi, it's my beloved. And so then the Sahaba said, aren't we your beloved, O Messenger of Allah? And he says, my ahbab, he said, you are my companions. But my beloved are those who will have believed in me without having seen me. And one of them would wish that they could see me, even if they were to spend all of their wealth and their families. Like, even if they were to forsake their families and forsake all of their wealth just to see me. And so this is an incredible declaration of love. And one of the great moments in the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, where they actually competed for leadership, was before the conquest of Khaybar. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, tomorrow I'm going to give the banner to someone who loves Allah and His Messenger and who Allah and His Messenger loves him. Right?
That's huge.
Yeah. And so this was the reason why they wanted that. Umar said, I never wanted Imara before that day. Why? Just because of this concept. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, I'm telling you that whoever I'm giving it to tomorrow, that person loves Allah and His Messenger, and Allah and His Messenger love them.
Subhanallah.
And he gave it to Ali ibn Abi Talib. And so this was that declaration of love of Allah and love of His Messenger.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
It's
It's a beautiful topic, and if I were to come back to one thing, I would just say that a person to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they should learn who Allah is. I obviously teach a course called His Majesty Unlocking the Names of Allah, and the reason why I love teaching this course is because I really feel that people, they don't know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, and we spend so much time actually. If you look at people, 99% of the questions that people ask are questions about the Sharia. Today I was talking with a bunch of kids at Dar al-Faruq. And what were they asking me? Is this halal? Is this halal? Is music halal? Is dating halal? Is this halal? Is this halal? And everybody's asking, is this halal? Is this halal? Is this halal? Is this halal? Is this haram? Is this haram? In fact, I even learned a new word today. Is this demi? Demi.
Dhanbi, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Min dhunub, dhanb.
Oh, I thought it was from demi, like from hajj, from dam.
No.
Alayhi dam. You know? I was like, I connected it to dam. Okay, so no, my Somali is still a little bit off.
Yeah.
Dhanbi?
It's actually Arabic, but transformed into a little bit of Somali. Yeah.
Dhanbi. So he says, they're asking me, is this dhanbi? Is this dhanbi? Is this dhanbi? And this is reflective of the culture that we have. Even the adults are asking the same questions.
Of course, yeah.
And so people are asking about the Sharia, and they're not actually asking about Allah. It would be very rare for you to find somebody asking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you learn about Allah, all of these things become much easier to do.
SubhanAllah.
Talk to people about who Allah is, and you don't want to become like Bani Israel, because that was their trait, that they were asking about the details of the law and they were missing out on the love. That's the idea. So learning about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is incredibly important.
Yeah, definitely. We missed that Khasmin Muhammad Jama. I should have.
It was great. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. We are requesting in front of the Deen lovers that Sheikh sends us his footnotes and everything so that we can.
Oh, you can just Google them, Deen lovers. You'll find them, inshallah.
So inshallah ta'ala, such a huge topic. We have not done justice. Loving Allah. This is probably the purpose to life, and the reason of our existence is to gain that love and momentum so that we can succeed in dunya and in akhirah. So inshallah ta'ala, we request everybody to do a little bit more research on this topic. Earning the love of Allah, how we can do that, getting to know Allah, ma'rifatullah is such a huge topic, because you can't love somebody that you don't know.
Exactly.
It's very tough. It's just how the design of life is that. So we have to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and gain that momentum and love, because our success is at stake. في الدنيا وفي الآخرة. So we'll leave you with those words. Inshallah till next time. Sallallahu wasallam ala nabiyyina wa ala alihi.
بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي